Hello everyone, how are you? Now today we're going to draw a torso, a cartoon torso. So we're going to learn how to build that. It's going to be very simple, but we're going to go step by step. Now before we start, as always, I'd like to recommend some references so it will help in your practices. Remember, references are always helpful, and for torsos you can, for example, take your own pictures. You can go on the internet, you can go on Pinterest, on stock photos websites like unsplash.com, pexels.com, or even pixabay.com. These are free and you can find a lot of images, just both male and female models, so dive into that. And there's also this figurine, I own one of them, the bodycon. You have both the female and male version. So the male version is the bodycon, and then you have bodyshan, and this is a fully articulated model, a bit more for a cartoon and anime style, so it's not too realistic, but it is a good anatomy figurine, so you can just pose it however you want, and I think it can be really helpful for drawing torsos as well. With that out of the way, let's start drawing our torso. So we're going to be drawing a very simple torso. So the first thing we're going to do is find some measurements, right? Find the guidelines. So I'm going to use the head method. So I'm going to draw a circle like I would for a head, right? And now I'm going to duplicate this circle 2 more times. One, and then another one. I'm going to join them together and I'm going to move them right here. We're going to go over here and add 2 guidelines where the heads intersect each other, where they touch each other. One here and another one right here. So we have here most of our guidelines, but let's create 2 more because we're not going to use the whole circle here. So a bit above the middle of the circle we have another guideline, and the same thing for this one here. So right about here we have another one. So we have here all the guidelines that we need. Going to add some transparency to them, same thing here, and now we can start drawing our torso. So for the torso, we're going to start right here. This is going to be our shoulder line, and now here, this is where our chest ends. So we're going to go right here, draw another line, and connect everything. So we have a bit of a trapezium shape. If you're drawing male characters, this is always the shapes you go for. It's very straight shapes, rectangles and such. So then we go down up to here. And here we have our belly button. Next we have that waist area, so it goes a bit outwards. And then we connect everything right here. And this is mostly it. So if we go over here, we would have our shoulders. We can add them a little bit here, a little bit of the arm showing up, and we have here a torso. I said I was going to draw just one torso, but let's draw a more male and a female version. I think that's going to be a bit more helpful for you. So let's go over here. And now a new layer, and I'm going to draw if I wanted to create a female character. So again, we know that the chest goes up to here, so we have something like this. So women have breasts, so the shapes here are going to be a bit rounder. Now overall, a female torso is going to use more round shapes, so that's what I'm going to do here. Instead of just straight lines, I'm going to use a lot of curved lines. There we go, just erasing this a little bit so it's not too confusing. Our belly button is about here, and now from here we have the waist. Again, we have our shoulders right about here. We can draw that bit, and there we go. We have here our basic shapes. So you have something a bit more masculine, but it goes also if you want to draw, for example, a character that is a child, you'll also want to go for something a bit more like this. You don't have a lot of curves, very straight lines, because the body isn't developed yet. And if you want to draw a female character, grown up, you'll want to have more curves in the body. But of course, this will depend on the kind of character you're drawing, the type of body you're drawing. There's always lots of things. So now I'm going to go and draw a more detailed sketch. So the chest goes here in front of the arms, and then we have here the rest of our torso. Same thing on the other side. The arms go behind the torso and then connect everything, and don't forget the belly button. All right, now for our female torso here, of course this is a very simplified version of the torso. This is the way I like to go about it. So female torso has more curved lines. As you can see, it's very different from what we just drew before. Now we go down, we have here our belly button, and then the arms again go behind all of it. And this is pretty much it. So now I'm going to go over my lines here to draw a cleaner version. So I'm going to speed up this process here, but as you can see, we start with 3 heads, then we find some guidelines, and then when you have all of this ready, you just need to go over the basic shapes for the torso, which this is it. This is the shapes I like to use for both a male and female torso. Now, of course, you can exaggerate this as much as you want. You can add muscles. This is a cartoon torso, so it's a very simplified version. And whenever you're ready and you like your sketches, just go over your drawings and draw your final lines, which is what I'm going to be doing right now. It's going to be a very quick line art. I don't want to spend a lot of time here. Alright, so this is it, a very simple cartoon torso. Depending on the genre of your character, depending on the type of body, of course you're going to use slightly different shapes, but this is a good start. So practice this as much as you want. Then when you're used to these shapes, it's time for you to experiment and try different types of characters and bodies. So this is it for a cartoon torso, but if you want to learn how to draw a full cartoon body, check out this video where I'll guide you through it step by step, and as always, keep on drawing.